what's your meal plan? I'm like, bro.
I don't know if you wrote a book on Tate's diet, if that book would do well.
Well, I've never taken a steroid in my life. I don't inject anything. I don't take any pills, nothing.
What was your diet and your regimen while in jail?
If I could instantly transform your body to look ripped and muscular like Andrew Tate's, as quick as clicking my fingers, most men would say, hell yes, I want to have that kind of body.
That's why I drink so much sparkling water, and I drink so much coffee.
You know what would happen if I had 1 cup of coffee?
So in this video, we're going to break down what's great about Andrew Tate's diet, but also why I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. Whether you love him or hate him, there's no doubt that he does things in a very unique way. So when it comes to his diet and his training regime, you're going to see a few things that you probably have never tried before.
I have about 10 to 15 cups of coffee a day.
10 to 15.
Cups of coffee a day minimum.
Wow.
You drink 15 cups of coffee? I don't, and I don't know anyone who does apart from Andrew Tate. So how much caffeine is in a standard cup of coffee? So based on this image, a regular cup to the left, there could be somewhere between 75 to 150 milligrams of caffeine. So that kind of serving isn't really a big deal. However, my main concern is having 15 cups of coffee, what impact that might have on our ability to properly recover and sleep. And a study published in 2013 on caffeine effects on sleep taken 0, 3, or 6 hours before going to bed concluded that don't drink any coffee 6 hours before bed. So put simply, whether you have 3 coffees, 4 coffees, 6 coffees a day, I highly doubt you're having 10 to 15 and you're having those coffees 6 to 8 hours before your bedtime, then you likely won't significantly disrupt your sleep. Quite obvious that Andrew Tate has been drinking coffee for a very long time and he can tolerate a high amount of caffeine. But that's not the only thing.
Nicotine and caffeine are what I run on. 100, that's all I run on.
The benefit of coffee, it also has an appetite suppression effect with a very low amount of calories if you're not adding milk, sugar, or cream to a coffee. And this is only one of 2 types of beverages that Andrew drinks.
But you don't do drugs.
0 drugs.
You'll have a sip of alcohol every once in a while.
I used to. I haven't had alcohol in 9 months.
So completely avoiding calories from alcohol does make it a lot easier to stay lean and lose body fat, because different drinks can have different amount of calories, ranging from 80 calories all the way up to 200 to 300 calories in like cocktails and high processed sugary alcoholic beverages.
It's funny because people look at my physique when I put pictures up and they're like, what's your meal plan? I'm like, bro, cigars, coffee.
Coffee and cigars.
Coffee and cigars. I eat once a day.
So I did a little bit of research to look into the impact that cigars have on our appetite.
2 or 3 cigars a day, and I only eat once a day.
2 to 3 cigars a day sounds like quite a lot. So like cigarettes, cigars also contain nicotine, and this study on the appetite suppressant effect of nicotine is enhanced by caffeine. What they concluded was that caffeine added to nicotine appears to amplify its attenuating effects on appetite. So based on this study alone, we could assume that combining 15 coffees with 2 to 3 cigars is having a massive appetite suppressant effect. There's also one more thing he does, which I'll explain shortly, that enhances the appetite suppression even more.
I eat once a day.
What time?
I eat dinner only.
That's it?
Only eat dinner and 8.
So you do intermittent fasting for 18 hours? What?
Yeah. And 80 to 90% of my calories are meat. I'll just have like 3 steaks for dinner.
So once Tate's finished his 15 coffees and his 2 to 3 cigars, he will then have a massive protein-packed dinner. He will eat 2 to 3 steaks and maybe a small portion of fries or salad or whatever's available.
I'd like to think that 80% of my calories come from meat. If there's a meal, I'll have a few fries and as much meat as I can.
This is what we call OMAD, 1 meal a day, and I've made a separate video talking about the side effects of fasting, which you can take a look at after watching this one. My main concern is that for people who are busy, who do have children, who are running a business, you're not going to be able to get enough protein in. And then if you're not having the 10 to 15 coffees and the cigars, you're likely going to be hungry throughout the day. So I don't recommend 1 meal a day. So if you were to eat 3 steaks for dinner, not only would that be difficult to finish eating because it's a lot of food, here's what the calories and protein actually looks like. So assuming a 250 gram steak, that would be up to 700 calories per steak, including 62 grams of protein. Now that can vary a lot depending on the cut of meat that you have and the way that you cook it. Of course, adding oil to it and sauces and flavors will add more calories. That could potentially be over 2,000 calories and up to 200 grams of protein. Now, if you're only eating one meal a day and you're working out every single day like Andrew Tate, this actually works from a calorie and protein point of view. It actually works. But as you can see, this is quite an extreme diet. So the question is, why does Andrew Tate eat like this?
Now, how much of that is genetics? How much is that like?
I'm not sure if it's genetics,
Yeah.
but that's just how I feel best. I feel best when, if I smoke and drink coffee all the time, I feel hungry, which motivates me, and I feel energetic. It's energetic hungry. But I like to have that tinge of irritableness. It's just
12
how
cups of coffee a day,
How-
3 cigars, and you eat once a day.
That's right, yeah.
And you train every day.
I train every day.
And it's working.
Well,
working for you.
It's how I feel best.
So it's clear that this is what works best for Tate. This is a diet that fits with his schedule, gives him the energy that he wants, and allows him to eat the amount of food that he wants to eat at dinner time. But just because that's what works for him, that isn't guaranteed to work for you. And this is why I tell my clients that there is no set perfect way of doing things other than the way that's going to work for you long term.
Sometimes when you find a diet or a combination that hits your body well, you'll know it, you'll feel it. And you have to know your body the best.
Correct. I think there's no perfect diet for everybody.
I agree.
Everyone's slightly different.
I agree.
Also depends the mental model you want to operate under. If I wanted to operate under comfort, I certainly wouldn't eat the way I eat. I do it because I particularly want to operate under a degree of irritability and high energy and hunger. I like feeling hungry. I don't like feeling full.
I respect that he admits that there is no one perfect diet because there really isn't. And it's important to recognize that he likes the way being hungry makes him feel. He performs better that way, and not everyone does. I have clients who like to eat every 2 or 3 hours, and that's completely fine because it fits their schedule and their nutritional budget for the day.
So whatever I'm doing, I'm sticking to it.
What was your diet and your regimen while in jail? Really?
I spent my commissary money on coffee and cigarettes. I had coffee and cigarettes and 1 meal a day, same.
But there's one thing he didn't mention in this interview with Patrick Bet-David that also adds to the appetite suppression along with his coffee and cigars.
So sparkling water and coffee helps me suppress my appetite. I eat once a day. That's it. So that's why I drink so much sparkling water. I don't drink sugary drinks. I don't try not to drink my calories. I only drink water.
In general, people who drink a lot of mineral or sparkling water do report that they feel less hungry before a meal, or drinking mineral water with a meal will fill them up more. So if we zoom out and just take a big picture view on Andrew Tate's diet, the question is, should you be doing this too?
A whole bunch about health and lifting weights and stuff that I don't understand. I'm a fighter, right? I don't know about bodybuilding. I don't know about any of this shit. I don't pretend I know. All I know is what works for me. I don't understand why I do what I do. I just know what makes me feel best.
So unlike many other gurus and influencers online, Tate doesn't pretend to be an expert and tell you what to do. He's just sharing what works for him. And that is the key takeaway here, because what works for you could be completely different, just like it is for every CEO and entrepreneur that I've worked with over the years. If you would like to have a ripped, muscular body like Andrew Tate's, you don't need to have 15 coffees a day, you don't need to smoke 3 cigars a day, and you don't need to eat 3 steaks for dinner. Tate also said that he works out every single day, and that is something that you don't need to do, particularly if it doesn't fit your schedule. And the fact is, you can achieve a ripped, strong, fit and healthy body, just like my client here, even eating 3 to 5 times a day and doing only 3 workouts a week, no matter if you're really busy or traveling and don't have time to go to a gym, and still achieve a result like this. So even if you're overweight by 20, 30, 40 pounds or kilos, or you don't have enough muscle and you want to get stronger and fitter, there's only 2 things that you need to do to achieve this result. The first thing you need to do is very quickly tap the subscribe button, and the second thing you need to do is go to the description below and download my secret fat loss mistakes report for business owners.